Welcome to the Imperial Bricks YouTube channel. In this video, we're going to be taking a look at set 75396, the Desert Skiff and Sarlacc Pit. This is a new set for the year 2024, and you can see on the bottom left there that it is part of the 25 years of LEGO Star Wars, so we have an exclusive Nien Nunb minifigure along with the other 5 minifigures included in the set. So without further ado, let's see what we got in the box. So for $80, here is everything that you get in the set. You've got the skiff, of course, on the left. You've got the Sarlacc Pit on the right. Not a new Boba Fett. That's actually the Boba Fett from the 2023 Boba Fett mech, but a new Lando, new Han Solo, new Luke, and then, of course, standard Chewbacca, and our new Nien Nunb 25th anniversary minifigure. But before we look at the minifigures, let's look at the builds. The first build I want to take a look at is the new skiff, because I have really been enjoying the building techniques that LEGO has been using to, not really so much the techniques, but the designs that they've been implementing on these newer Star Wars sets, whether it's the Sith Infiltrator, whether it's the Ahsoka's shuttle, or even those new like 2-pack sets with the fighters, whether it was the one with the TIE Interceptor and the Mandalorian Fang Fighter, or the one from the Ahsoka show. I really like the ship designs and the detailing that LEGO has been using, especially when you contrast that to the older, kind of more simple designs that we saw from Star Wars. So starting even out here on the side, you know, really nice shaping and lack of studs, only one stud right there on that wedge plate. And, you know, this is a clean, all one color. You know, you don't see, yeah, there's a little bit of nougat on the inside, but not every piece exists in every color, so that's okay. I think this is close enough and looks nice on both sides, of course, and these are slightly angled down on 2 axes. And then you can see we've got some engine detail coming around the back, and I think that looks nice, and I think the curvature of the back here also looks very clean. You've got the tube piece as a railing. That's a nice detail. You always got to appreciate them adding, you know, a piece like that to try to capture more detail. The little steering console, the center console, I guess like on a boat, looks good. You've got your 2 studs, so you can place a minifigure there without kind of bumping or rubbing on everything when you try to put them in there. And then I'm not quite sure I understand this part. I don't remember in the movie if this gate or railing moves, but on this set it does. I think it has something to do with the fact that they used a tile here and they just connected it via the hinge right there. And then presumably this is also just from the reference material, that random block in the middle. But moving forward, again, really nice shaping. This looks really good. It fits in nice and clean. Obviously, you have those gaps because that's where studs would fit in if this piece was used on the way it was first intended for it to be used, even though you can use Lego. However, it doesn't always look the best, as you can see there. But again, I think it looks good. I think the shaping is nice. And again, we got another tube piece for the railing. And of course, you can see it's been moving around the whole time. There is the mechanism for the plank that Luke walks on. If you hold it flat, it just stays like this. This little bracket stops it from sliding all the way back out that way. And when you have it all the way in, you can't really tell that it's there. You don't know, is it that, is it that, is it that? It's this. And it slides out. I think that's 3 studs. And it is enough for the plank to almost get over the edge of the Sarlacc Pit, so you could kind of fall in just right there, just barely. And then on the bottom, we do have these 3 2x2 pillars, except for here in the base. We got an even wider base to make sure that this is stable, and it looks like it's floating, which is always appreciated. So overall, I think that this is a definitely improved design of the skiffs that we've seen over the years, and I'm happy with this. So let's move on to the Sarlacc Pit here. Taking a look at this, you can see this thing is massive. If we put it next to the skiff, we'll do it like this so you can see the length of the 2 things. They are about the same length. The skiff has these little the 6L bars coming off the back there, which makes it a little bit longer, but this is significantly wider. As you can see, this is 6 studs wide. You know, sure, it sticks out a little bit because you have some of the detailing on the edges, but 6 stud wide for the most part. This right here is, what is this, 16 studs wide, I think. You got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 15 studs. And then you have the actuators here on the back. And that's something we got to talk about. So the back is not very camera friendly. And that's okay, because that's how it works sometimes with toys. You know, you got to have action features and stuff, because obviously this isn't a real creature that can move on its own. And this is all the action feature does, which to me is not very impressive. I wish that you could maybe move the mouth open and close, because it doesn't really feel like you can do anything. You can't really interact with a minifigure this way, at least not in the way that it interacts with the minifigure, the characters in the movie, which I think is a bit of a letdown, because they spent so much of the budget of this set just building the edge of the Sarlacc pit. And I think the issue with that is, you can look back at any of the other Sarlacc pits that we've seen, and with using, you know, probably 1/7 of the amount of bricks and plastic that this used, they capture the same creature and probably give the person buying the set just as much like play value. Now, when it comes to displayability, this definitely does look a little bit nicer. And if you're a fan of that particular scene, maybe this is exactly what you've been waiting for, and you wanted a more detailed official Sarlacc pit that has, you know, terrain surrounding it more than we've seen in the past, where, like you can see here, it's you know, it's a side build almost. And this is definitely not a side build. This is the main build. You know, not that this is really a side build, but this is a main part of the set because of how much of the plastic goes into it. I think it's about twice as much as far as the weight goes that the skiff has. And so, you know, me personally, I think they used way too much trying to make the Sarlacc pit, but this is what we're left with. So hopefully the people who are fans of the Sarlacc pit, Jabba sail barge kind of scene, enjoy this. And I think most of us have probably heard at this point that we are supposed to be getting a Jabba's sail barge UCS set, possibly sometime this year or in the near future. So if that happens, it would make perfect sense that they would want to have a kind of nice size, decent looking Sarlacc pit on shelves at the same time with a skiff to accommodate that, because those probably wouldn't be included in the UCS set. Now, that's about it for my thoughts on these builds. If you want to talk about value, one of these cars right now is $27. This is from a 2-pack, so I know it's not this one specifically, but these cars with a fig are 27 bucks. If you say a fig is worth $4, say that car's worth $23. It weighs about the same as this skiff right here. So we'll call this a $23 skiff. And then if that's $23, right, we got to come back over here and say, what are the value of the figs that we have? And we're going to take a look at these in just 1 second after we do this quick math. So you have 6 figs, each fig worth $4, that's $24, plus another 23 for the skiff gets you to $47. And then you subtract 47 from 80, which is the retail price of this set, and that leaves you with $33. So I think that's right. Yeah. So the question then becomes, is this worth $33? So does this have $10 of plastic more than this does? And I think you could argue that it kind of does, but the issue is, does it add that much value? And I don't think it adds that much value, but that's how I would assess the value of this set. I don't think it's crazy overpriced, but you know, we have the usual Star Wars tax. So starting with the 25th anniversary minifigure, of course we do get the nice little plaque. I don't give this any value because, you know, this would be cooler if it came in a branded poly bag. The stand, I've never, you know, that's not true. People definitely use these to display these figs, but usually I feel like you'd want to display this with other figures that kind of go with it, not with other 25th anniversary figures. That just doesn't seem like it makes sense to me, though. Anyway, so Nien Nunb here. We've got a unique mold for the head and a nice, I don't remember if this was dual molded. I couldn't really tell from, or I can't tell from here, but this looks like it's painted in brown, and then we've got black painted eyes with white pupils, and then that obviously weird cheek kind of texture that he has, and a black vest, red undershirt, red sleeves to match that, and red pants. I guess that could be a one-piece suit. Not entirely familiar with the Nien Nunb character. And we can line the belt print up there, and that looks okay. And yeah, he's got a back print as well. This is the same style of vest that I think we see like Han Solo wearing, so that's another interesting thing. You always see people who fly the Millennium Falcon wearing Han Solo's clothes. This is the Boba Fett from the 2023 mech, and you can see it's a really nice fig. It's got arm printing, leg printing, hip printing, all that good stuff. I think even the helmet is new for 2023. And we even have, I believe this Boba Fett head has been used before, but could be mistaken on that. And so, yeah, so that's a really nice fig. There's nothing to complain about that. Chewbacca, nothing new here. What really do you expect with Chewbacca? I don't think there's too much really they could do to improve him. Maybe some arm printing would be nice. That would have been cool to see with that big buildable Chewbacca set that just came out recently. And then here we've got a new Lando Calrissian in his like disguise or undercover outfit. Nice back printing, nice detail on the prints, nice detail on the legs as well. Even some printing down here on the feet, if you guys can see that. The helmet printing is lined up beautifully. I mean, I can't imagine how hard it is to get all four of those to line up. And then we've got the little gold rivets along the kind of brim of the helmet here. So a lot of good stuff here, nothing to complain about. And moving on, we've got our Luke Skywalker. This is another new minifigure. I think it is kind of annoying at this point that they just keep making minifigures for the sake of making Luke Skywalker minifigures. Do we really need a new minifigure, a new Luke minifigure every time they come out with a set that he's in? No, we don't. Is it nice that they do new minifigures? Yes, it is. So hopefully LEGO can keep balancing that and focus more on making new figures that we don't really see as often. And then finally, we have a new Han Solo. I'm not sure if the shirt print is new. It does look new, but I know the head print is new. I don't think I've seen this one before, so nice looking figure. Of course, all these are appropriate to the set. They all do fit on the skiff, so if you wanted to set Chewbacca on here, you can put, well, this is backwards. You can put Luke on the plank right there. You can put Chewbacca over here. Nien Nunb doesn't go anywhere in this scene. Boba Fett would probably be like flying around, I guess. That would make more sense. And then you can put Han Solo and Chewbacca on here as well. And I mean, you could totally fit Boba Fett here if you wanted to. And you could even have Nien Nunb driving it. But yeah, I think for $80, this isn't an unreasonable amount of stuff to receive. It's definitely pushing it though. But I'd love to hear what you guys think in the comments below. Of course, thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoy this kind of content, be sure to leave a like, subscribe for more, and if you're new here, make sure you go check out imperialbricks.com for all your official LEGO Star Wars minifigure needs, including the figures that you see here in this set.